And the strapline refers to just one password to remember. We're all familiar with the internet password problem. The only ones we can remember are too weak, and they're easily breached by current attack methods. So we've developed a two-factor authentication system which supplies both a single complex password, something you know, as well as any number of dynamic one-time passwords from a stored token in your phone, something you own. The system is based on visual cryptography, which is a first in the field of authentication. Our system at the moment is a working prototype, and we want to use the funds from the competition, if we win it, to bring it closer to a commercial product. So these are the challenges that were set by the competition, and I hope to cover all these requirements over the next 5 minutes or so. In particular, I want to show you how the system is innovative, interoperable, intuitive, and secure. So are we innovative? Well, don't take my word for it. The three tests of patentability are novelty, usefulness, and non-obviousness. And the IP authorities in the UK and the USA have both decided that our technology is sufficiently innovative to merit a patent. But patents don't guarantee commercial success, and we want to demonstrate that our authentication solution is also commercially innovative, and winning this competition will help us to do that. So what is visual cryptography? It's the idea that you can take any image and split it into two or more shares. Individually, the shares are meaningless, but when they're combined using a Boolean operation, the original image is revealed. So our idea was to try and develop this technology to solve the internet password problem. So how have we done that? How does it work? We've developed a phone app that scans QR codes to reveal dynamic one-time passwords. The first share we call the Tento ID, and that's your unique personal ID that's stored in the phone with your app when you register on the system. The online login starts with the user providing a username as usual. Our authentication server then generates the second share and presents it on the PC screen, again in QR code form. The user scans this code with the app and a visual password immediately appears on the phone screen. When I say visual, it is an image, it isn't digital. You can see those characters there are, not what you might consider to be normal ASCII type characters. The point about them being visual means they can only be read by humans, so they're rather like those captcha codes. Even the phone has no digital record of what the password is, which means hackers can't actually get at it. The system can be used to authenticate online payments as well as website logins. Well, the market for two-factor authentication is growing rapidly, but the impact on corporate victims of cybercrime is also growing. Average company losses for a significant attack are now running around £5 million per incident. Global payments made using mobile devices are also growing fast, forecast to exceed $500 billion by next year. And again, the impact of card fraud is immense, over $5 billion annually. So the market is crying out for more effective and more secure forms of authentication. We believe Tento's solution will take a significant share of this market, especially in the SME and small corporate market, where current two-factor authentication products are just too expensive. So the project we'd like to run needs the full £35,000 to turn our Java-based prototype into a commercial system, or at least getting closer to a commercial system, running on a wide range of platforms. So the project will focus on interoperability, ensuring that our system can slot easily into a wide range of client systems, and we'd hope to work closely with the RBS on this aspect. We can also improve the usability of our system by adding voice input of the password into the phone app. In terms of a trial, we'd actually like to conduct 3 trials in all, although two of those will be offset to a university. But based on the competition challenges of usability, interoperability and security, We've already worked with the usability lab at UCL, and we propose extending this involvement. We look to RBS to assist with the interoperability trials, installing our system into an emulation of their current payment system. We've worked with several UK universities on various aspects of the security of the system, and we plan to engage with them further on the security trial. We'd ask them to devise tests to demonstrate the system is resistant to known methods of attack and that it's impossible to achieve a system breach without possession of the username, the static password and the Tento ID. The Tento team's years of experience in various fields. I personally have 30 years of experience in managing software development projects. At Cable & Wireless, I was sponsored on the MBA programme at the London Business School, and after that got into business development. I co-founded the UK's first webmail service, which we subsequently sold to FreeServe, so I also have previous startup experience. My brother, who's here with me today, handles our social media and other communications. His career has been in journalism and broadcasting for some of the biggest media organisations in the world. And we're lucky to have recently acquired the services of one of the few people doing advanced research in digital cryptography, Neil, and he'll be involved in this project if we're successful. So I hope I've shown that we can meet the various challenges that were set: interoperability, innovation, state-of-the-art and leak-proof. And I'm happy to take any questions you may have.
So on your video and everything like, you show it with a two-screen application. Most of our customers are now using one screen to do this kind of stuff, phone or iPad.
Yeah.
I think you may have touched on it with voice, but how does it work without having two screens?
No, well, clearly a lot of people, as you say, do all their business just on the phone without having a PC. In that case, clearly we can't use a QR code because you can't scan it with the phone that you're trying to actually use to do the login. But in that case, we send the Tento password share directly to the phone over the network. I didn't say, but one of the benefits of doing it with the QR code, of course, is that the phone is completely out of network at that point in time, so it's even more secure. But if you need to send the Tento password to the phone directly, then it's not out of network, but that's the, in return you get the benefit of being able to do it all on the phone. So it works in exactly the same way, it's just that you can send it to the phone, and as you say then, the ideal thing will be able to speak in the password that's revealed, and we tend to use a 4-character one-time password. So just being able to speak it into the phone is very fast, very user-friendly, and still very secure, because you've still got if you're using 2 factors of authentication, you've still got the static password. Incidentally, it doesn't have to be 2-factor. This works as a 1-factor authentication process as well as a 2-factor.
One of the key things in payments now is around reducing friction, obviously. So how would this work with things like the fingerprint ID for certain access to payments?
But just mention it can be 1 or 2-factor authentication. We can supply both out of the app, but you might consider it even stronger if you used it with a fingerprint as 1-factor and then the one-time password as a 2nd factor. It's flexible in that way. You can use whatever combination of factors you want. But that, you hit a point with a very strong authentication would be a biometric plus this one-time password. The bit that we'd like the banks involvement with is the interoperability trial, because that's something it's quite difficult to achieve, otherwise. So if there was some way in which we could, run a trial with an existing payments application that we could plug our system into and just see how it interoperates. Well, in other words, get the APIs right, really, because we have a very simple API at the moment, but whether or not it would work with online payment systems, I can't really say. That would be the purpose of the trial.